planting media is really, really important. It's what your seeds are going in. Whether you're using potting soil, seed starting mix, or these cool little peat pellets is completely up to you. Woo, script. Taking forever, but I'm also improvising at the same time, so I hope you like that. A couple of things. The potting soil, it's a lightweight mixture. You don't want to plant your seeds in topsoil or in garden soil that you have outside. It might have some kind of bacteria in it that you don't necessarily want. Potting soil, lightweight, normally there's a couple of different kinds. Some are peat, have peat as the main thing. Back-to potting soil has like 85 to 90% peat in their light premium potting soil. There's perlite in that, which is going to help with drainage, which is pretty good. Then there's the Miracle-Gro potting soil, which is great if you're doing stuff outdoors. You're doing containers, whatever, that's cool to use outside. I wouldn't necessarily start my stuff in Miracle-Gro potting soil just because it holds too much moisture for me in my house in western New York in the northeast region. It just does not dry out enough in the house. It helps breed fungus different types of fungus gnats, which are like little black flies that try and dive bomb into your nose because they like any kind of damp area, which is very, very unpleasant if you have a fungus gnat flying in your nose. I've had it happen. You don't want it at all. You don't want it at all. Just keep that in mind. But if you're going to do them outside, use that Miracle-Gro potting soil because that and the back-to potting soil have a light fertilizer in it, so it'll get your plants started in a relatively nice manner. There's another product that I just actually started using myself, and that is Organic Mechanics Seed Starting Mix. That has a light fertilizer in it as well, but this one is peat-free. It's got coconut core in it, as I think is the main ingredient. It's a pretty nice mixture. It doesn't look like a typical mixture. Typical mixture of potting soil or of seed starting mix doesn't really look like this. They mostly consist of peat. That's like the main ingredient in a lot of stuff. So this Organic Mechanics doesn't have peat in it. It's peat free. So you got coconut core and it's got worm castings in it, which is pretty cool stuff. I'll talk to you about that in a later episode about worm castings. Worms are fantastic. Hallelujah to the worms. Okay, and then interesting stuff. I used that today when I planted a bunch of my seeds. So woohoo! Yeah, we'll show my seedlings later. They're at my house, whereas right now I'm at my boyfriend's house, and he's allergic to my cat, so he can't come in my house, so that explains that. And then the other option I had said about these were these peat pellets. These are pretty cool. They're compacted discs of peat. There's Marky's beautiful hand there showing off the peat pellet. Compact discs of peat. So basically what you do is, I'll demonstrate this later in the video for you. You plunk these bad boys, or you put these in a tray, and you douse them with water, essentially. You just hammer them with water and let them sit, and they go, they expand and explode and boom, and they bubble. They don't really explode, they bubble. Very sophisticately, they bubble. Anyways, those are those. Making sure that your planting media isn't too heavy is really important, because if it's heavy, it'll retain a lot of moisture. It can rot your seeds before they even germinate, or it could rot your seedlings. It can increase chances of you getting dampening off disease, which is where basically a fungus invades. I think it's a fungus. I'm pretty sure it's a fungus. It invades, kind of makes the stem of the plant. So if this here, my knuckle here was the soil line. This section here of the plant stalk becomes really weak, kind of looks like mushy fruit, and then your plant just goes whoop and falls down. Yeah, essentially, yes, that's what it does, darling. It goes down to the ground. So you definitely do not want that to happen. Dampening off is horrible. You have to immediately remove all that potting mix or whatever you used, that seed starting mix. Remove it, get rid of the seed, wash that little speck of a container out, and start over. And you might want to even wash it out with like 1 part bleach to like 9 or 10 parts water, just so that you're disinfecting that area so that you don't breed that dampening off fungal disease thing again. Whereas what's cool with these is, if it gets it in this pellet, you just pick the pellet up and huck it out of the room. Just huck it out. You know, just throw it out. because it's that easy. Whereas the other ones, you gotta sit there and pinch it out of the 6-pack, and then you gotta try and not disturb all your other plants. These are really handy, folks. So the next thing we're gonna talk about is light requirements.